fucked up that you would say that, Jessica, right before we went live.
Mm.
That was a hard R.
I didn't even say anything.
Well, you also didn't speak up in defense of it, so, that's the
Just
real
did.
Now I'm
problem.
suspicious.
Alright.
I
We're
can't
back with
believe
some
this.
Ravenloft. You guys know the drill. Return to Ravenloft. I am DM Stray. I've DM'd everything from Made RPG all the way to Monsters and Childish Things. And, most terrifyingly of all, your favorite game system. We'll go around the table, introduce ourselves real quick. We're going to start not with the party this time. Gomo, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Elmo, I'm playing the role of co-DM here, which is really just going to be the behind-the-scenes role, but also occasionally commentary.
Go to you, Orion.
Hello, name's Jonah or Tiffany. Call me either or. I play Orion, a self magus. I probably totally did not actually die and became a thing. We don't know actually. We'll figure it out.
This is Ravenloft. I could replace any of you with a fucking doppelganger or a corpse and reveal it in 3 months, and I would be orchestrated as the greatest storyteller known to man. Lucia, you're up.
I'm Jess. I play Lucia. She's a human fighter.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Lucia? Why is she here?
Question. She is here with her mentor from searching out Knights of the Raven.
And how's that working out?
Well, we are currently not with Ephraim.
Okay.
So,
But you
I
do
don't
have a
know.
dog now, so I mean upgrades.
Yeah,
Right?
we're doing, all things considered, I think we're doing great.
Which is about all you can ask for in Ravenloft. Moira, we're going to go to you.
I'm Zilly. I play Moira. She is a witch with a little buddy here named Boros who kind of helps to give her advice and guidance. Only good advice and guidance, I'm sure. She recently left her convent that she lived in for her entire life and has joined this party. And doesn't know what she's doing, but somehow everybody's alive, so that's cool.
Which is about as well as you can expect to do in Ravenloft. Sebastian, we're going to finish up with you. Please contain your Ghost of Sparta rage.
My enthusiasm. I'm Nick. I play Sebastian, the human champion. I'm in Ravenloft to seek out the Knights of the Raven.
And what drove you to seek out these Knights of the Raven?
It's a good question. Let's see. I watched my longtime partner kill an entire village of people, and now I don't know how I feel about people, because I don't trust anybody, or being a champion, or any of that.
Hoping for some guidance, then. So those are our intrepid adventurers. Once again, those of you without a hero point will receive one for free, but for an additional hero point, who wants to tell us what happened last time?
Well, so we fought the lady of the house. She tried to sacrifice us to the house. The house tried to eat us after all that. We said no. The house was full of spikes, was full of absurd amounts of maggots/worms. We were chased down by Shadow. I think a good portion of our wounds came from the actual spikes.
Spikes were not great.
It was not great, no.
And yet,
At some point, the party got separated into 2 different floors.
It was basically an episode of Scooby-Doo.
With a downed player on each side.
An episode of
Me and
Scooby-Doo if it was
Lucy
for
just
adults.
dragging everyone out as best as we could. I was the last one out, so I don't even know if I'm actually B.
and then what happened?
Wait. And then, we got saved by, a couple. One happened to have been a doctor. And, I got to see the world again. Because I was unconscious on my way out.
Oh, yes. The mysterious couple that stepped out of the carriage. Long dark hair, very nicely trimmed, quite handsome. Piercing red eyes, almost like Moira's. And his supposed wife, also long dark hair, piercing red eyes. But driving their carriage was a strange little creature that called himself Neath. And so the three of them tended to your wounds, mostly the male figure, seemingly some sort of doctor, expertly doctored your wounds, and has offered to give you a carriage ride back to town, battered and bruised from your let's say tribulation in the old Durst Manor. You, not quite so eagerly, but still regardless, you accepted their aid, hopped in their carriage. Sebastian, I believe, throwing a slight tantrum. But as you each step inside of this luxurious red velvet lined, and I believe Zilly had something to say about that, the red velvet lined carriage, the wagon bounces down the road as the creature known as Neath snaps the reins on the horses, and you find yourselves once more back in the realm of Greyhawk, and we are going to pick up our adventure there.
I have a token with vision.
You're right, I'm getting there. Notably, it is about I'd say sometime after sunset, possibly about 8, 9 o'clock. It's a decent way into the night as you ride through this old carriage ride. We're just gonna real quick adjust some numbers. There we go. A single lantern and a single. There we are. Single lantern and a single, what looks to be some sort of mechanical candle lights up this nice cushy carriage as it rattles on down the road. Would anybody like to be the first to speak?
I am going to, upon reflecting on everything that has happened, I'm going to absentmindedly reach to where Gustav's token should have been in my pack.
Okay. You do still find the token in your possession. The small silver token decorated with the windmill on the cliffs, the crest of House Valecki.
Confirming it wasn't my imagination that all that happened. I'm going to now look to see if I still have the letter for the kids.
It is also in your pack. It seems like whatever ordeal you weathered did in fact happen, if you can believe that or not.
Alright. Knowing for sure, I'm just going to look out the carriage window, if I happen to be next to the carriage window.
Okay. Once you each step inside and the carriage begins to rattle down the road, Orion shuffles through her pack before breathing a sigh of relief and turning to look out the window. It's about this time that the man dons his nice, luxurious coat once more, seemingly having taken it off to dirty his hands. He turns to each of you and speaks. Well, this is a strange meeting by the side of the road. What brings you so far away from town? I
do we
mean,
decide?
no pressure or anything. You don't have to speak. Your business is your own.
We just went through a lot of stuff.
I see. Yes, your wounds were quite extensive. Perhaps a tale for the road? Consider it repayment for my services.
How do I whisper you again? Just /WD.
Yes, /W Stray or Como or Azim or GM. It would specifically be GM, not DM. It's pedantic, but Wizards of the Coast wants to make sure that DM is a Dungeons and Dragons thing, so.
I'm going to ask this of Boros mentally.
I am not meant to be the charismatic one. I can't make me talk.
I don't think any of you are the charismatic one, in fact. Zilly, as you whisper or telepathically whisper your message to Boros, he never removes his eyes from the strange couple in front of you before giving you an affirmation.
Moira's going to awkwardly avert her eyes at the affirmation.
Okay. Where would you say each of you are sitting in this carriage? It can sit about 3 people on each side, so one of you will have to sit on the same side as these strangers.
All I know is that I was the first one let in, so...
I'll sit next to the strangers.
Okay.
I'll sit
I'd like
next
to
to
sit by
Orion.
the door.
I'll sit sandwiched between the other women then,
Okay.
as my dream has always been.
I was going to say...
now.
I believe you were specifically motioned over by the woman, Sebastian, so it makes sense that you would take a spot near her, even though you were probably swatting away her hand at first in the temperament you were in.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless.
I know I was escorted in by the gentleman
Yes.
first.
In fact, after Sebastian hopped in, he escorted most of the women in. Very chivalrous of him. Or misogynistic, depending on how you want to view it.
I went in first. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's about right.
I swore I was the first one in. Alright.
Oh.
No, you were pretty much done. If I recall, Sebastian was pretty done. I could be
okay.
wrong. If chat remembers, we'll check chat in the meantime. Regardless, as you bounce along the carriage. Moira, he flashes you a knowing smile and nods. I have completely lost my place.
Like, I'm almost positive it was me, and then it was Sebastian, after refusing the lady
Okay.
at first.
Regardless.
I would never remember in a million years.
Regardless,
I have no idea.
it's not that important. We're gonna move on.
This is the most important detail.
You are absolutely right. We're now retconning last session. It went like this. Sebastian went in first with the woman, then he helped the rest of you. Alright? That's it. History rewritten. Railroad. My story, my rules.
Okey.
I'm good. I'm glad I put my foot down on that. It's about time I got some damn respect around here.
Okie dokie.
Yes, hun.
Thank you. Now then, before I was so rudely interrupted. He gives you a knowing nod more before his wife reaches over and kind of puts a hand on his thigh. Perhaps they're a little weary from their journey. He shrugs and sighs rather loudly, almost childishly even. Very well. Keep your secrets then.
I forgot. Have any of us exchanged names? We have, right?
I think he has introduced himself to you as Aldrich, and the woman is Valentina. The creature above, piloting the carriage right now, is Neath. I don't know if you have introduced yourselves to him, but let's go ahead and run introductions again.
Right, Moira's gonna slowly look back up towards them and offer a hesitant smile and return to the knowing one, and then say, "My name's Moira, and I just wanted to thank you again for giving us a ride. It was very kind of you."
Finally, some manners. It is a pleasure to meet you, Moira. I'm Aldrich Saguinto. This is my wife, Valentina. And we are currently on our way back to Barovia from a long journey afar. If you would like, you may join us there for the night. I should like to keep an eye on my patients, after all, to make sure that they are not, well, to make sure nothing happens to you all, to make sure your injuries don't reopen. They're rather severe. Pardon me if I seem to be talking too much. And your names are? He says, turning to Lucia and Orion.
I'd like to look up Adam and say, my name's Lucia, sir. And apologize to him. This is a rather odd encounter. Be meeting these people out in the middle of the night.
Of that you have no doubt. To pick up 4 strangers in my carriage far away from civilization and to bring them back to town. Well, let's just say it's not typically a wise idea here in Greyhawk, I suppose, but... Well, what is life if not taking a few chances every now and then? And what is life if not to help your fellow man? That is, after all, why I have studied the practical medical arts, as it were.
It is very impressive. Thank you once again for helping us out. Name's Orianne.
And a pleasure to meet you as well, my lady. Valentina touches your thigh, Sebastian. And you, sir?
Ooh.
Not like
Go on.
that, you fucking...
I was gonna say, do they like?
I'm just gonna kind of glance over. And... My name is Sebastian.
We did take the dog, yes?
Yes, the dog is currently curled up in the middle of this motley crew.
Okay.
Mostly
like-
near Lucia's feet, though. But it's not the largest carriage. It was clearly not made to hold 6 people comfortably.
It's just a little cramped.
A little.
It is a little cramped in here. As you pass by the rolling hills and a couple graveyards, a couple withering trees, the cold snow coming down, a rolling fog settling in that you have now become accustomed to seeing. Aldrich speaks up again. So, may I expect you at my manor? Unless you have prior business, I don't wish to impede.
I going to
Valentina
politely
speaks up.
ask what day it actually is.
Valentina speaks up before you. Forgive him. He's very eager for guests. Must excuse my husband. He has a tendency to wish to show off. That's not true at all, Valentina. I wish to be generous. I have been given a great many gifts, and I wish to share them with the world.
I'm going to smile at him, clearly believing everything he's saying.
Is it so wrong to wish to share my gifts with the world, Valentina? My knowledge, my skills, my wealth, my food, perhaps? Does that interest you all? Perhaps some good warm fire? Good warm wine?
It does sound nice.
There's
See,
nothing wrong with it. Can I ask, what day is it? We have been
the day.
yes. It's like
It is
we
Moon
were
Day.
locked. When did we actually enter the manor?
You enter the manor on the 11th of Abydeus, what translates to January 11th in this world. In the year 4733.
And today is what?
The 24th.
Today
This
is
is correct.
Alban Eiler.
I look. Stop it.
Oh.
Do you mean the specific date? Or just the day?
Date. I'm trying to figure out how long it's actually been since we've been in the manor.
Today's Albin Eiler, the 24th of Abadeus, in the year 4733. It seems like you were gone for 13 days.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, well.
Um,
I'm going to be sweating bullets.
I'm just gonna go wide-eyed.
I don't think
Is
Ephraim's gonna be happy about this.
there's
No,
something
no.
amiss?
We need to find him.
Perhaps I've missed something. An inside joke, perhaps. It's okay. There's no need.
Yeah.
No, what seemed to only have been a day for us has been 13 days, it seems like.
I see. I
Sir,
must
we were
confess
severely injured.
I'm
Sir, I don't think we can expect you to understand. It's been a lot.
It's okay. I used to party a lot when I was young, too. Sometimes blacking out for days at a time.
We were supposed to meet, or at least be joined by Patriot 2 days. Since. Blah.
You explained to
Well,
him about your tribulations with time. How about that?
Yes.
I tried.
He listens.
I would like to offer upon him talking about partying and blacking out that I did once steal an extra glass of wine. The sisters were looking.
I could have swore.
He gives you a small chuckle at that. I see. And what is youth if not the time for mistakes and a few extra glasses of wine, is it not?
Alright.
Oh.
Yes.
Valentina is at almost the entire ride, head in her hand, sort of a half amused, half eye rolling smile as she listens to her husband speak.
That is amusing to hear.
You must forgive him. He knows not when to shut up.
It's alright. Nothing wrong with wanting to share.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to meet new people and speak to them, Valentina. It's a long road back to Barovia. Sitting here in uncomfortable silence is not at all my area of expertise. No, I suppose not talking is not your area of expertise.
Yep.
See, I can be quiet.
Yes.
Sure is.
Just like that. I was quiet right there that entire time.
That lasted 2 seconds.
I'm going to chuckle softly at that.
How long would you like me to stay quiet then? I can show you. See? My presence lightens the mood, Valentina.
I'm looking back
It
and
brings
forth between them.
joy and generosity. Oh, it brings something, all right. Valentina, I think we need to have a talk about your attitude. You're disrespecting me in front of our new guests. No, I think you do that by yourself plenty. He shrugs as much as he can shrug when he's shoulder to shoulder with Sebastian.
I'm gonna shrug with him to help his shoulders shrug better.
Do you see, we already have a rapport, Valentina.
So a double shrug.
See, this is how we make friends.
Just simultaneous shrug. Almost mimed.
watching this like a very interesting game of tennis.
Yeah.
How are we going to explain this to Ephraim?
We're not. We probably. I don't know where that dude is now.
No, boy.
Didn't
Maybe
think he
he's
was
still
going
there
ahead
waiting
of
for
you
us.
To where? Where are we going? I forget.
No.
He probably thinks he's dead.
Well, that's no good. Well, maybe you would be dead if it weren't for me. But, where are you heading? Perhaps I can assist you come the morning.
I look to my compatriots.
I confidently state the name of the city we're headed to.
Alright, that answers. It's like, listen, do I have to say everything?
I'm gonna nod in agreement.
So I need you to be clear. Are you stating you're going to Ravenhold, or are you going back to town, Barovia?
Ravenhold. There we go.
Okay. Oh, Ravenhold. My goodness, that's quite a journey. Well, I wish you the best of luck with that. If you'd like to, maybe I can lend you a carriage and a horse come tomorrow. It should take you quite a ways. Much faster than, and safer than traversing these lands on foot.
That's extremely generous.
You
That is
see,
generous.
Valentina, they think I'm generous.
My eyes dart back to the moment waiting for the tennis match to continue.
Are we quite far from Raven? How far?
Valentina sighs. Ever so generous, my lord. Well, this is cause for celebration. I think this is the first time my wife has conceded a victory to me. No, I'm just very tired, my lord. Perhaps
I'm
we
gonna high five
ought
him anyway.
retire early. It's very cramped, so he goes to give you the high five, and he's, yep, right.
Just kind of decide to do it later.
Right.
I'm gonna be awkwardly kind of ducking out of their arms because I'm sitting across from them.
I am going to just lean against the window as best as I can, just so I don't get smacked.
Yeah, just leaning back into the seat.
It's like it's as far back as I can manage.
Very, very well. We'll, when we disembark, we'll arrange a
Yeah.
good handshake between gentlemen.
I do a little fist bump, like to myself. Yes.
I'm just gonna put.
What is that? Is that a?
I'm just going to put a hand like to cover my face from his end towards the wife and go like, is he always like this?
She gives you a very polite, restrained, practiced smile. Yes.
Understandable.
Well, but a Knight of the Raven. He gestures to your scarf, Lucia, that you still have.
I stick my hand out for the scarf.
It's like give it back.
Begrudgingly give it back to him.
Oh. I'm sorry?
I'm just gonna tuck it in my bag.
It's
Oh, I apologize. That must be perhaps a comrade that's no longer with us.
Yes and no. I didn't know the guy, but I got a scarf.
Oh. Is that why you're going to Ravenhold, to return the scarf? It's a
Yes.
mighty noble goal of you.
That, amongst other things. We'll know when we get there.
Okay. Sure. It's been a long time since I've seen one of those scarves this far out. You know, a lot of the knights no longer come this far out to Barovia.
When was the last time you've seen them?
Before I left on my journey, perhaps 2 or 3 years ago. We used to...
A long time.
Some of the older knights of the Raven come this way, but truth be told, most of the time they leave us to fend for ourselves these days. Luckily, we're quite quiet out here in the woods. Well, so long as you avoid the woods and stay to the roads and don't travel at night and carry a lantern with you at all times. And, no open wounds, of course, and Valentina interrupts. I think they get it, my dear.
Looks to Lucy and Sebastian at each mention, considering our first night on the road.
Yes.
We know.
We know a little bit about that.
I see.
just a little bit.
A little bit.
Capable warriors, then, to survive an encounter with the undead of Greyhawk.
I don't know about capable warriors.
With some
I'd say we're lucky.
assistance.
I'm going to shoot him a look at him. I'm just like, how could you?
And what about you, milady? He says to you, Moira. Forgive me for speaking, but you don't seem the accomplished warrior as our two friends here. What brings you this far out, away from your convent?
Nothing to forgive, sir. I am just on a little journey, and these kind folks are allowing me to travel with them.
Well, that's very nice, then. Generosity and kindness goes a long way in these parts. A little bit of hope through the darkness, perhaps?
I would say so.
He shoots you a light smile.
I'm gonna glance from him to Boros, then back at him.
He doesn't seem to acknowledge the snake at all, but you also have a much larger, smellier dog at your feet. Regardless.
No. He's a fairly clean dog, I'm sure.
He's been through a lot.
He's been through a lot. He is
Yeah,
not
forgiveness.
looking great.
He's precious, can do no wrong.
He could never.
Well, we should be there very soon. I hope you're looking forward to some Seguinto hospitality.
My stomach will begrudgingly growl.
Do any of you drink? If so, I'll prepare something nice from the vineyard. Anybody?
I'm not old enough.
Sure.
I raise my hand slightly. Yes.
I'm going to look over at Arya and then also slowly, hesitantly raise my hand, but still keep it kind of like halfway up my lap. Not past shoulder height for sure. Just a stiff little. Yes.
Very well. Valentina, will you help in the kitchen when we get there? We'll take a second examination of their wounds, and perhaps we'll make a night of it, shall we? We'll celebrate some survival of whatever ordeal you went through, I suppose. Though I still don't really know what you went through, but I won't press you any further.
Me neither.
It's about this time as you rattle the carriage through town. A surprising number of lights are on in town. Aldrich, the man, he's got a very refined, dignified air about him, despite his easygoing nature. But as you rattle past town and the lights, he kind of loses that refinement for a moment and kind of leans forward, neck craning to look to see what's going on. There's something in town. We'll have to ask about what's going on later, shall we? He gives each of you a smile in turn. Perhaps they're having their own party to welcome back the heroes of the hour.
Since I'm at the window, can I inspect the lights?
Give me a perception check.
If I remember how to do this.
You can find it in your Actors tab. You should have both the party sheet. Actually, because of the new update, it's exclusively the party sheet.
Secret or no?
Yes, please. Secret. Okay. You see a lot of activity in town, but you notice they're mostly gathering at the tavern, the inn that you previously stayed at. You've been gone for so long, though, you've no idea what that could possibly mean. It is somewhat late at night, but you don't see anybody you recognize, and you certainly don't see Ephraim. This is seemingly some sort of congregation or meeting, and people are kind of slowly meandering their way through town as the carriage kind of picks its way through the streets.
I informed us to the party.
Orion informs you that there is some sort of meeting, but Ephraim is not seen in the crowd.
Do we stop and check it out?
Surprise if Ephraim is still even in town. It's been.
Should I stop?
Didn't he say he was going ahead to the city? Or no? Am I misremembering?
He was heading there for help and was coming back within 2 days, rather.
Ah.
It's been 13 days.
Right.
Very well, we'll keep going.
No, stop.
Having no semblance of stopping, he continues on, and you rattle your way through town. You feel the carriage slowly tilt up. You seem to be cresting up a hill. Well, we'll be there any minute now.
What's your place like?
Oh, it's just a humble little... No, it isn't. Well, it's not humble at all. It's... As you rattle into town, you spot the largest house on the hill. A seemingly decadent 3-story manor.
I was
I'm not going in there.
The horrors.
Turn it back around.
Never going in another house again. We'll go back
Turn it
to
back
it.
around.
What's
What
is everything
did
okay?
y'all expect?
I'll lay under the open sky from now on.
Is everything okay? Should I?
Stay where we can see the sun.
I
Yeah, if you got a place for me outside, I'll take it.
outside in the cold.
Uh,
My hospitality is open, friends. I
Mine's
offended
not.
you,
no, you have not offended us. We're
Valentina? Was it something I said?
No, we're
She
just traumatized.
sighs. It was everything you said. Regardless, as you rattle on up to the house, you do find yourselves standing now in front of the massive house.
If I start hearing music, then I'm definitely leaving.
We need someone
I mean, we could
take
just
a leap of faith.
we could
They
just
get sent to another dimension.
Well, alright. Nope.
Can't see the
Turning back
scene.
around.
We're going to drop each of you off here in front of the house.
I can't see the scene. Oh, there we go.
Don't worry. You have the scarf. You can literally cast light.
It is rather dark, but thankfully
No, I mean, I couldn't see. It said my token was...
the house is illuminated. And the couple steps out of the carriage alongside you. We're going to very quickly, we're going to up this to about, there we go. You guys should be able to see now as we have everybody step out of the carriage.
Is it cool if I just sleep in the carriage?
I know.
As the creature known as Neath whips the horses once more into movement. No carriage. Neath, be gentle. As Neath rides the carriage into a small, covered area off to the side of the house. Very well, the man says, motioning for you each to follow.
So fast.
Game paused. Can't move. There we go.
Can we move now?
You may.
Alright. See
Technically.
y'all later. Just kidding.
Wait on everyone else to catch up. Alright. We all here?
Boros. Boros, you okay?
He's chilling. Oh.
Boros left in the cold.
He's fine. He's cold-blooded. He likes it.
I don't think that's how that works.
It's fine.
That
He
is-
likes
that is
it.
lo- That is legit how it does not work.
He's fine.
That's why he's not moving.
As you step inside, though, the manor is warm and inviting, decorated nicely. Nice amount of black, white and red. Similar colors that Aldrich is wearing himself, you realize, seemingly his favorite colors. Various paintings and decorations line the walls. A large portrait of this self-same house lavishly decorates the interior. What looks to be imported statues, plants, fauna, all sorts of things line the walls. And if I can please find the... There we go.
I'm just staring at the cute patterns to the rug.
As he steps in, he waves his hands, and those of you who know magic, specifically you, Orion and Moira, realize that he has cast some sort of symbol-based magic, a small little alarm or bell, perhaps signaling his return.
Identify it?
It's essentially just a very low-tier prestidigitation cantrip, sort of general use. He just gave a quick little symbol designating that he was home. And within seconds, 6 or 7 servants swarm you and begin to fuss over you, your winter coats, as he extends his arms out and lets them take his coat from him. Come, my friends, we'll get you changed.
You know magic.
Oh, yes, quite. Valentina.
Look
Valentina
around.
gives you an accusatory glance, Orion.
I'll look around in awe because I've never seen someplace fancy like that.
Noticing that, his eyes light up, and he's going to once again regale you, bragging about his generosity and wealth, as Valentina sighs and lets the servants take her coat. Ladies, shall we make the necessary preparations for dinner, then? She motions to you, Orion, Lucia, and Moira.
I'm going to nod and clasp my hands, prepare to follow her.
Very well. If you ladies will follow me, please. Well, and you, Sebastian.
You're the only guy. Good luck.
Have fun.
you get to have that high five.
Yeah, all to myself. No one else can look. This one's for us.
Very well. If you'll follow me, I will show you where you may get changed if you wish. And we may work on our secret high five, as it were.
Ooh. I'll raise my eyebrows up and down at him.
He gives you the same amount of eyebrow raising.
Love this man.
You can match my energy.
Oh, I can match anything you throw at me, Sebastian.
Oh,
I
God.
have
But
seen
he's able to
much
match
in
his
my
energy.
years. Very well, follow me. Ladies, you are led to a small... Small is the wrong word for it. A lavish, luxurious, marbled floor, mahogany cabinets, oak. Several mirrors, perfume bottles, and a porcelain, beautiful tub. And as Valentina leads you in, she sort of steeples her fingers, bows slightly. Ladies may rest your weary bones from the road here if you wish. I will leave you ladies to it once you are cleansed of the dirt of the road. You may step into the room next door. Here, she says, motioning to the room to your west. Inside you will find a changing room, from which you are free to select any gown or wardrobe you would wish.
So, unfortunately...
Yep, I am getting it now.
There we go.
Still going to be staring at everything in awe and running my fingertips over things, kind of wandering
I-
around.
Notably, Moira,
I am definitely looking in awe at how nice it looks.
you'll have to pretend this backdrop is nighttime now.
It's okay.
Understandable.
Notably,
It
Moira,
still looks great.
everything feels like the cleanest thing you have ever touched in your life. It is quite literally squeaky clean. And oddly enough, there are several dozen glass bottles, but they don't seem to look like potions and balms and poultices that you're used to.
I'm going to inspect them as to identify them.
Okay. Orion, how familiar are you with sundries?
Enough.
Okay. Orion, these are exotic spices and perfumes.
Huh.
A majority of them are from Bakshish. However, there's a few scattered around the world. Some from Astalis, some from Mosul. There's even one or two from the Jade Empire, but most of them are from Bakshish. These are just oils and perfumes and powders that you may wish to use if you would like. Moira, have you ever once in your life encountered perfume?
Never, but I would like to curiously pick up some of the bottles and open them and give them a whiff.
Okay.
I would
The smell
actually
is...
like to ask them what they would like to smell like.
Are you opening several bottles at once, Moira, or just one at a time?
No, one at a time.
Okay. The smell begins to make you lightheaded, but it is a heady, potent, beautiful blend of smells that you've never encountered in your life, tucked away in these small, little, miraculous vials. Lucia, what are you doing?
I would like to take this time to wash up. I imagine we're all quite dirty.
Okay.
Man, nobody answered me on what they want to smell like.
I'm busy smelling everything.
That's fair. I mean,
Okay.
it's like, do you want to smell floral? Do you want to smell sweet?
Something
Fruity?
flowery.
Lucia, there is a provided screen if you wish to use it for some privacy from the other women.
Yes,
I would like.
Otherwise,
Sorry, go on.
you may hop in when ready. And there are dozens of cleaning soaps, rags, wash towels.
I am going to assume that Lancelot followed us in here.
Actually, no.
Really?
Lancelot was shooed away by Valentina, but Aldrich, immediately not missing a beat as usual, pepped up and began to crouch and kind of clap his hands awkwardly. Come here, boy. Come on, old sport. You'll come with us. So he is currently with Sebastian and Aldrich, who are now practicing their high fives, and he is very scared and very confused right now.
Understandable.
Have mentioned
That's how I feel about
I
men
like
practicing
Lancelot.
high fives.
I was gonna help out if we were going to clean Lancelot ourselves.
I will go ahead and
Avoid
select
Joseph.
My favorite of the scents that I have found so far, and then prepare to also wash up.
Okay. You select a scent. Do you have anything in mind, or is it just...
No, just
Okay.
something exotic that she's never. Well, almost everything's gonna be exotic that she's never smelled before.
You
so
pick
just
something that is
favorite.
potent and fragrant, and possibly a little bit... It stings your nose, but in a good way. It's powerful smelling. Lucia, as you finish up and begin to towel yourself off, who is next in the bath?
I am going to pick something sweet, almost like
We'll go
vanilla.
ahead and get the bath.
Okay. Moira, you hop into the bath soon after. Lucia, the water is blissful. Warm, not hot. Smells delightful. And is probably the first time you've felt clean since you've left the convent. So, probably at least a week.
Also the nicest bath I've ever had. Usually I bathe in lukewarm or cold water. Going to sink into it blissfully.
Boros does not appreciate this.
I will extend one arm above the water to hold him and
Or
sink
else
into
not
it
time.
blissfully.
Are you
Gross.
telling me that he would not appreciate a warm bath?
No, he does
Considering his
not.
cold-bloodedness?
No, he does not.
I see.
Boros waits for you to remove yourself from the bath before, finally, after an agonizingly long time, finally you decide that you've...
Long enough to prune up?
Unless Orion wishes to intrude after volunteering to sleep together already. Regardless.
Big bathtub. Regardless, what?
I was offering.
Okay, you two hop in the bath together. Anyway, Sebastian.
Moira's gonna scramble out of the bathtub the moment a naked woman comes at her. I can talk a big game. Moira cannot.
Regardless, Sebastian, you are led to much the
really
same
wasn't,
thing.
though.
It is a pristine, clean bathroom. Aldrich kind of gives you a small little gesture as if to designate to hop in before shutting the door and leaving you alone with
together.
the
Oh, never mind.
before leaving you alone with the dog in the bathroom.
Alright.
He whines at the door and paws at the door for a little bit before finally sitting down, flopping with a humph. What would you like to do while you're in here by yourself, Sebastian?
With the dog?
Clean myself.
You just grab anything available to you? You're not
Oh, yeah.
perusing the wares, you're just...
Nope.
Just
I'm
something
in here for
random.
one thing. I know what I'm in here for, and it's to clean.
Okay.
What are you in for?
Being dirty.
You grab the first few things that catch your eye, not really bothering to smell or examine to see where they're from or anything like that. You're very matter of fact. As you begin to hop in the bath, you realize there's a loud sploosh as the dog has now leapt in after you. With a loud
Scratch his
humph, he
face.
sits down in the bath.
I'm gonna start bathing the dog as well.
Okay. He sits there. He's quite obedient. He's well trained. Or so you think, until at the very last second he begins to flash water everywhere. What was
That's a
once
lot.
a nice, clean, pristine bath is now, well, a nice, clean, wet bath. As there are flecks of water everywhere.
The sir is not gonna be happy about this, Lancelot.
As each of you depart the bath, you now find yourselves once more in the next room. The first thing that catches your eye in here is that the room has an almost otherworldly light to it. There is a servant A man for you, Sebastian, and a woman for the ladies, who greets you bowing deeply, all the way 90-degree angle practically, before rising. My lord wishes me to explain how these wardrobes work. They gesture to the wardrobes. They sort of shimmer and shift under your gaze. It's a little strange to perceive them. These are magical wardrobes of want. Much like the throne of want. Should you think of what you wish and pull it open, it will manifest your desires for you. The same thing can go with these mirrors here. Should you manifest your desires, it will assist you in that manner if you wish. If you have any further questions, do not hesitate to ask. If you require assistance, we may do so. If not, if you wish for privacy, we will step outside and leave you to it. But as each of you now stand in this sort of strange, ephemeral, shifting room, for one hero point, who would like to speak up first?
I guess I will.
Moira, as you have been explained, this is a wardrobe of want. Should you throw it open, you will receive exactly what outfit you are thinking of. Moira, as you stand in front of this wardrobe, what do you dare let your mind desire?
Where would I have ever seen fancy dress?
Storybooks, perhaps? Old convent tales? Religious tomes depicting goddesses?
Picture the most pretty dress that I could remember, the images that I've seen. It's intricate and silk with lace, long, the trail, big open sleeves. I'm gonna picture that image.
Very well. Where you find yourself pulling open the wardrobe to find a single garment inside. It is a beautiful, translucent in areas, opaque in some, lace, nice gown, with big flowing sleeves, silken to the touch. And you recall where you've seen this before. You now recall this was in a very old religious textbook depicting the goddess Sarenrae when she ascended to the stars. And tiny bits of glitter trail behind the dress, depicting that same starlit journey as she rose to the stars for the first time. You now have a dress in your inventory, if you would like to dress up for this occasion.
Pull it out. Clearly look kind of like I'm in disbelief.
And look at the other two. Kind of hold the dress up. Is this real? Can you see it too?
It's quite real.
A very
I
beautiful
nod.
dress. I think we can both definitely see that.
They make a motion to the mirror, the servants do. If Miss would like to do something with one's hair or one's appearance, you can change it here.
look
I
in the
assume
mirror,
that is towards
and
Mora.
I'm going to picture probably the same image. So whatever she looks like in that image, maybe if she had a particular hairstyle, like
Okay.
something fancy done with her hair, or if she had
Lots of
obvious makeup on,
braids.
or anything like that.
Not very much makeup at all, in fact.
Okay, then I'm just going to picture the hair.
The hair is luxuriously long, with many braids interwoven with flowers and ribbons through it. It is the most beautiful you have ever felt in your life, Mora. It's almost painful.
I'm going to lean forward and stare into the mirror and kind of run my hands over my face and hair. Disbelief.
And for the first time, maybe ever, for the first time ever, Mora, you feel like you could almost trick somebody into thinking you're not a monster. Lucia, you are next. What would you like to wear?
I'm thinking something a little simpler, like a dark buttoned tunic with like a waistcoat sort of thing. Dark pants. Almost, I guess. Something that would make someone look refined.
Okay. As you reach in, you find yourself in possession of a nice button-up tunic. Goes down to about midway down your thigh, but there's a matching set of slacks underneath. They're comfy, but warm. Fleece lined on the inside, but almost skin color on the outside. There's a nice pair of sheepskin boots, also fleece lined on the inside. But they rise and hug your legs all the way up to your thigh. They lace quite comfortably, seemingly made for you. And to top it all off, there is a nice waistcoat. Fitted just so as to hug every part of you in a nice embrace. As you slip it on, you perhaps refined isn't the right word, but you feel nice. It's a nice feeling and something that you're not used to in life. This sort of embrace of something that wants you.
Like, comforting.
Orion,
Would be a better word.
what would you like to wear?
Something that matches my hair tone. Probably off-shoulder dress. Definitely a corset. Probably loose sleeves. She would definitely wear her hair in a side braid with some bits of like feathering and such in it. Not sure how to describe it. But something along those lines.
Okay. You receive a gown, and your hair is beautifully tied into a long braid that is just the right length that you wish you could keep it. Long enough to be beautiful and run your hand through, but not so long that it gets in your way when you're eating. You find yourself dolled all up. Nice corset to show off your curves that you're so proud of. Unlike Lucia's tighter embrace, this one seemingly flows with every movement, almost like it has a mind of its own. Feathers decorate the shoulders like a trophy of some slain beast, and the fabric moves as if the wind itself is constantly flowing around you. Wild and free forever.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Sebastian. You find yourself standing in front of the wardrobe of want.
Yeah. I really just want to wear my armor.
See.
Just your armor?
Yeah. I just
The
want to
one-
keep what I have.
The one time that you could technically wear a suit.
Alright, I want to wear a suit, but over my armor.
Okay.
A blue and black pinstripe suit.
I'm going to BRB.
You find yourself wearing a very clean version of your chainmail that you are so used to traveling in, but over top of it is a nice hauberk, a sort of tabard, a blue and black tabard that cradles the armor gently. It's draped over top of you like a shell waiting to be peeled away at the first sign of danger. Kind of like your beliefs and morals in people. Regardless, each of you now find yourself standing, guided by these servants. To find yourself standing in a luxurious dining hall. A nice roaring fireplace in the corner. A large, impressive glass chandelier that dangles dangerously close to the ground. It's only about 8 feet up. It dangles that low, however, because it is just gaudy, impressive. The amount of candles that burn, casting shadows all around this room. It's almost like every inch of this room is constantly dancing with lights.
I'm gonna shudder at the shadows.
Okay. several open seats at this table. And your hosts stand, motioning for you to take a seat.
You came back.
Welcome back. We're picking seats. Sebastian, where would you like to sit?
I'll just sit right here.
Okay.
There we go.
You find yourself sitting in front of your guests once more. Your hosts, rather.
Yeah, my house now.
Damn, just like that. That's all it takes, huh? Fucked up.
It's that easy.
It's that easy. Damn, if only I knew. As we take a moment. Strangely enough, the creature known as Neath is also here. Seems strange for such a... what you assumed to be some sort of servant, anyway.
I'm gonna look at him and just stare at him.
He stares right back at you.
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna go. Can I sleep in the carriage?
No.
Okay.
Frankly, I'm a little surprised that you gave up as easily as you did. You seem like the spiteful sort. Now,
Maybe you'll
Neath,
catch me out there in the morning.
Oh boy. Neath, do behave. Yes, my lord. You must forgive me. This is Neath. He's a good friend of mine. Good associate. How do I introduce you, Neath? I work for you, boss. That you do. And he does good work. He's constantly by my side. He's my little shadow, as you would. The word shadow sends shivers up your spine, Sebastian. Yes, the two are
Yes.
possibly together more than me and my own husband. Valentina takes a swig of her drink.
I'm going to sip my own drink.
Okay.
Just watching the exchange.
So, what interesting guests we have. Sorry, I like to talk. I'm getting ahead of myself. Servants. And he snaps his fingers. There's another little tiny whiff of magic. Some unseen signal as the servants receive their signal to come in, and the banquet is laid. Roast pheasant, roast mutton, some sort of creature you've never even seen before. 7 types of meats, 3 different types of cheeses, and a decadent platter of vegetables and fruits laid off on an entirely separate table. Fresh made bread is brought out as Aldrich extends you a loaf, Sebastian.
Just going to grab a little bit of everything because I'm hungry.
Oh my, no manners. Okay, very well. Forgive me, I forgot. Dig in. Very well. I understand. I understand. I come between a woman and her food. That's my mistake. You're right. Valentina gives you a knowing smirk, Orion, as she also is reaching for food.
It's like, listen,
Well,
my
we
stomach
just had
already
guests
growled
over the
on
one
whale.
time. I thought we'd make a thing of it, but okay, that's... Farewell, everyone dig in. And he takes back the bread he was offering to you, Sebastian, and breaks it in half himself. Just wanted to...
I just
Appreciate
gotta
it.
ask.
I'm
Going to
just
take
supposed-
a cautious sip of my drink.
I will break bread with you, master. Thank you, Neith. At least someone here has good manners. That's what I raised him, you see. That's why he has good manners. I don't know who taught all of you. He gives you a small, teasing smirk. Animals, the lot of you. Picked you up off the side of the road, I guess. I should expect you to behave like strays.
You did. Not arguing that.
Valentina is hiding an amused smile as she is politely and refinedly cutting into her steak. The food is, of course, delicious. It's the most delicious, the most tender. The meat falls off the bone. The bread, nice crispy outside, fluffy inside, warm, steaming goodness in your mouth.
Keen on it, did technically Moira and Sebastian did eat from the manor table that one time.
They did. This food is somehow even better.
Oh boy.
So,
I don't trust this place.
so essentially,
Last time I had good food, it didn't end well.
One moment.
It's like only me and Lucia technically didn't eat. So yes, I'm justified in being hungry.
You say the last time you had good food you didn't trust it, Sebastian? You know, you've still not told me what has happened out there to traumatize you so much. Please,
I don't think
allow
I
me
can.
to help.
I actually don't remember most of it.
I don't believe you.
I don't. I was unconscious.
You were unconscious. What? Please, somebody enlighten me. This is getting absurd. Valentina, make them talk to me. See some sense, some reason. Valentina looks at each of you and goes, the sensible thing would be not to humor him.
I'm going to quietly sip it to my drink.
Okay. Moira, you haven't had a lot of wine in your life, but this is probably good wine.
Just going to quietly say sorry. Too traumatizing to talk right now.
More like too hungry to talk right now. Very well.
No, it's too soon. It literally
Too
felt like only
traumatized to
yesterday.
He throws his hands up defensively, as if trying to make a lion back down. I see. Truly, such a traumatic tale. Brave heroes all to have survived such an ordeal. Very well, feast upon my hospitality and be renewed.
Appreciated.
Yes, well. Forgive me, Moira. Would it be too untoward to ask if you would like the special vintage? I see that you're partaking.
I'm gonna glance around at everybody and kind of shrug hesitantly. I'm good with this, thank you.
He shrugs. Very well. It's just we have Well, I have this special bottle saved up, and I'm looking for an excuse to open it.
Well, I mean,
Well,
in
not going
in
to
that
stop you.
case, I suppose I wouldn't want to be the one to prevent you from enjoying it. So,
Excellent. And he snaps his fingers again. Before long,
There's
a single, nicely made black glass bottle with red liquid wine is carried forward by a servant almost ceremoniously. Aldrich fidgets in his seat excitedly. I've been looking forward to this. I've been sitting on it for quite a while myself, you see. But, well, ceremony and tradition and all, and I've needed a good reason to break it out, so, well, here's to our new friends, new guests, and a homecoming, shall we?
thank you.
and this is only towards Mora.
Yes. He pours himself, Valentina, and Moira a drink, offering some to Neath before he... No, my lord, thank you.
I'm gonna look kind of confused when he stops after he pours us a drink and doesn't pour the rest of them a drink.
Yeah, I'm going to actually be raising an eyebrow at that.
So, what about? I'm going to kind of gesture to them.
Do they...
Is there not enough to go around? I'm happy to share. Or here, I mean, Ariane, do you want my glass? I'm gonna go ahead and kind of hold it out towards her.
Aldrich gives you a confused look. You two must be closer than I thought. Oh well,
Huh?
I'm not against you sharing.
Neither am I. I just am surprised to see such open-minded individuals. I suppose I'm just happy for some company for once.
I'm going to go ahead and
I'm not going to say no to good wine.
Why is it you never have company?
pour a bit in anybody's glass who extends a glass towards me.
Oh,
Well, I will extend mine, offering to pour it.
Okay. A lot of things just were said and happened right there. Moira, you begin to pour, I assume, Oriana glass first before. Is anyone
Whoever-
also extending
whoever.
their glass?
Offers.
I will as well. Why not?
the only one not old enough is Sebastian.
Okay.
I have to DD.
That's what we have Neath for. Valentina raises an eyebrow as you begin to share the glass.
I'm going to settle back in my seat once I'm done pouring and smile kind of proudly, clearly, happily that I shared.
Okay.
Sharing is caring.
Caring is indeed caring.
I've not had guests in a while because I've been gone for so long, Sebastian. I've kind of been on a journey lately to, well, sort of find where I am happiest in this world, I suppose, while also working on my medical skills. And he lifts the wine glass to his hand and gives you a small mock toast, Moira, before taking a sip.
I will return the mock toast and also take a sip.
It's
Not
pretty
toast
alright.
in general.
It's not as good as the wine, though, which is kind of disappointing for all that it was hyped up. It's not as good, but it's not terrible either, Moira. It's certainly different.
Kind of squint and
try to hide the confusion or disappointment on my face as to why it was so overhyped. Wait to see what everybody else thinks.
Okay.
I will take a sip of my own after my own mock toast. In general.
It's kind of thick, and it's not great. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you've tasted this before.
Huh.
Almost, it's been modified in some way, but it's a familiar taste. Lucy, are you also drinking?
I'd kind of like to, get a smell for it first before taking a sip.
Okay. Give me a perception check in secret, please.
Oh, okay. Oh. Did I do that right?
No, you did.
Oh, I did? Okay.
I think that's out in the open, but I don't think it'll matter too much.
Okay.
We saw it as question marks.
Okay, then.
And anytime they show up in secret.
Okay. It's a sickeningly dry smell, Orion. Or not Orion, Lucia. Kind of sweet. Kind of salty. It's and that's when it hits you, Orion, or Lucia. This is notes of wine and water and some type of juice, but it's also blood.
Oh.
It's
I was
not
just...
the blood you taste so much in your mouth when you fight, but it's something's blood. You realize this about a second after Lucia does, Orion.
I'm going to take another sip. Still trying to figure out why this is so hype, but figuring I just don't know enough about wine.
It's alright. It's an acquired taste, I guess. Very, very ashy. Like a kind of chalky taste. It's alright. Aldrich shrugs and continues sipping on his glass. Well, I'm just happy to see some open-minded people for once. I suppose after so long away, I forgot what it could be like.
I'm going to cheerfully continue sipping at my wine and glance over at Ariane and Lucia.
I'd like to... Oh, sorry.
I'm going to try to just not tense up immediately.
Give me a deception check.
Non-existent.
Oh, right. Give me a... Oh, yep. Just give me a D20 deception. Oh my, Aldrich says. Oh, this is awkward. Here, I'll just... And he leans forward and gently tries to pluck the glass from your fingers, Orion. Do you relent?
I would have already actually put down the glass in general, so
Okay.
I'm not going to stop him from taking.
Plucks it back gently. Sorry, when I asked about the vintage, I assumed, well, your friend here partook. That's why I was so shocked when you each shared.
I'm going to blink in confusion, just trying to figure out what the weird thing is that's going on, because I'm just sitting here drinking wine.
I'm gonna look at Moira confused. Trying to figure out what this man's talking about.
Slowly put the wine down. Well, no, I won't put it down, but I'll kind of angle it and squint into the glass. Do I notice anything weird about the wine?
Give me a perception check. In secret, please.
Oh.
Let's see here.
No. It's
I'll look back up at
a
everybody
different
else.
color than
Still-
the other wine.
Still confused of what the issue is.
Sir, I apologize if this is rude, but may I ask where you acquired this wine?
Well, Aldrich is tense now. The whole atmosphere has become tense. Valentina reaches over and puts a hand on his thigh. I received it from the Underdark a long time ago. I suppose there's been some misunderstanding. I did not mean to ruin the night. Moira,
you
can I... and he's going to try to gently pluck the glass from you, Moira.
I'll release the glass, looking confused.
I apologize. I've
certainly
misunderstood the... This is awkward. I've misunderstood the situation here.
I'm sorry. The wine was wonderful. It was good.
He gives you a polite smile.
I'll look at the others again, confused.
I'm sorry. I've misunderstood your party. When you've, well, two undead in your company, and I found you on the side of the road at night. Perhaps I've misunderstood the pleasure of your company tonight. It's just when I noticed that you had a zombie and a Dhampir on you.
A zombie?
What are you talking about, sir?
Do you
My eyes
do
Look
you
at
not
the
know?
others.
my
Oh.
eyebrows will raise at that.
Dear, oh no.
Oh no.
I'm gonna look at Lancelot.
I'm gonna slam my fist on the table.
Neith is
What?
immediately
I'm gonna jump at that.
drew a steak knife from the table and is taking a defensive stance. in front
No,
of
no.
Aldrich.
Certainly there's been a misunderstanding.
Oh, yes. Oh, gods. He stands from the table, abruptly, knocking his chair over. I'm sorry. I've made a fool of all of us.
I'm going to stand up too, looking concerned and confused and wringing my hands.
Valentina remains seated, calmly, gently swirling the wine glass in her hand.
Considering the wine,
Let's just get it out the way right now. What I've brought you is not wine. It is a type of wine. I did not think. I thought you were in the know. I did not mean any deception. I perhaps assumed too much. I apologize.
What do you mean a certain type of wine?
It's blood wine, Moira. It's blood wine.
I'm gonna stand up.
Pupils constrict.
I apologize. I did not mean any sort of deception. Allow me to be very abundantly clear. I made the mistake. I saw that you, and he gestures to you, Lucia. I thought that you, and he gestures to Moira. And you were traveling so openly, and
I'm going to stare at Lucia.
I'm gonna stare at Lucia as well.
I'm gonna grab Lucia. I'm gonna grab Lucia.
Why? What are you doing?
I didn't mean any ill intent by my question. It was more of a curiosity.
no, I
What
suppose
are you, Lucia?
I suppose I.
Slowly back away from the table.
Oh, okay. Let's everyone calm down. Okay, let's all take a seat. It seems that maybe we have some reintroductions. Yes, reintroductions are in order. Everyone take a seat. I will dispose of this, and he hands the bottle to Neith, and he just throws his hands up and just Neith, just take it, just take it away, Neith, just take it away. Just should I get
slowly be sliding back into my chair as he told me to.
Valentina's silverware clatters against the plate as she takes another bite of her food, calmly looking around.
Like I'm.
Oh dear.
Like my reaction is not quite violent, but because from the signs from how Ephraim has been acting, she could have actually known about Mora. Just chose not to think about it too much since she was of the coven.
It's okay.
But I would be very confused as to why Lucia was pointed out.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Lucia go and then just leave the room.
I'm also confused.
Wait, Sebastian, please. And he reaches out to Sebastian. Do you stop?
Yes.
Okay. And he clenches his fist kind of in relief and goes, please. I've made a huge mess tonight. Allow me some recompense at the very least. Allow me to remedy this. What can I say? I've overstepped my bounds, and for the first time tonight, the man is seemingly at a loss of words.
Everybody else is still standing. Is it only me sitting at the table? Wait, no, me and his wife sitting at the table.
No, I never actually got up.
Okay.
I've only been expressions this entire time.
I'm going to look between Lucia and Ariane and then just kind of stare at my lap.
I've made a terrible... Valentina puts her silverware down and scoots away from the table. It's odd behavior for such a composed woman, but she scoots away from the table and places her hands in her laps, even though there is food still on the table. Aldrich begins to fidget in his chair and fuss, his hands raised up to his head as if he's got a headache. I've made a fool. I've messed this up. It was the first good night we've had in a long time, and I've messed it up, and now I've fucked it up, and I've just ruined it, and now the vintage is wasted, and I was so saving that.
I raise a hand to him.
Aldrich grabs the table,
calm
and the
down.
entire table is flung against the wall with one hand. It crashes loudly, shattering everything to pieces.
I'm going to spring up and back in surprise.
Valentina reaches over and pats his thigh. Temper, honey. Right. Yes, I'm just... Please give me a perception check, everyone.
Ah.
Hey.
Sebastian, you are far too concentrated on watching Lucia's every movement. Even though the table was hurled against the wall, shattering into pieces, you are wholly focused, so you miss this small detail. But the rest of you, ladies, you watch as Aldrich's fingernails extend just slightly as he clenches his fist over and over and over, opening his hand, closing it, opening it, closing it, and his nails get a little longer each time he does it. Yes, Temper, I know. Yes, Valentina. I suppose the temper isn't going to make tonight any better.
Moira is going to apologize to him, but mostly be looking at the others while she says it. See if they reacting or they are doing.
I'm not staring accusingly, but I am being very cautious. Especially after the table being flung.
And I would like to once again apologize about possible ill intent of my questions.
You had no way of knowing. We had no way of knowing.
It really was a very nice gesture.
Thank you, Moira. The peace of the evening is suddenly ruined by a servant darting into the room. Sir, we have trouble. What now?
I am going to actually approach Moira and gently pat her, since I know how she has been jumping at all this too.
As
I know
the
wince at the patting.
man walks in and declares that there is trouble, Aldrich stands aggressively, pulling his fine red coat off and flinging it on the ground before storming off. What is it now? Before disappearing out of sight into the hallway, leaving Valentina still seated in her table. Seated at what was previously the table.
I was going to say.
Must forgive him. He does have a temper and a mouth. Though I'm sure he means somewhat well.
That considering we were saved, intended to, on the roadside, I believe that.
Yes, well, I suppose he thought you were kindred spirits, risen undead. I've made no efforts to hide myself tonight, but in case you were not clued in, as it were, I'm Valentina Korlova. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am what you might know as a risen undead. Specifically, I am a vampire. Full-blooded vampire.
I'm going to look super shocked at this because I have never seen a vampire.
Most of you have never seen a full-blooded vampire before, as most of you would have been killed, should you have.
I'm gonna stare her down.
Okay. She gives you a polite smile, but she stares you down as well, Sebastian. You'll forgive me if I'm the more diplomatic one of us. I've long had to speak for my husband. He likes to talk a lot, perhaps about things that he shouldn't. You'll forgive him if he seeks companionship. He's not had much companionship in a long time. I suppose when we saw the zombie and the Dhampir, and well... Yes.
I'm gonna look back at Lucia.
That's about the same. Lucia, were you aware of this?
Well, I wasn't aware there was something to be aware of. I'd like to look back at Sebastian.
Surely you've noticed your supernatural tenacity, supernatural determination, your ability to cling to life. Lucia, honey. Well, I hate to be the one to break this news. Unfortunately, I'm not the most ceremonious or tender type. Lucia, you are a risen undead. You are a zombie. Necromantic energy animates you, Lucia. I don't know what has happened in your past for you to be unaware of this, but...
I'd like to kind of pace back and forth, not quite understanding what she's saying. No, that can't be possible.
It's quite possible and true, Lucia. I'm not entirely sure of your history or how it happened, but yes. You are traveling with both a zombie and a... She gestures to Moira now. A Dhampir. Moira, surely you've at least known that you're a Dhampir.
I'm gonna be wringing my hands. Kind of shrug. I'm not certain what a Dhampir is.
The spawn of a vampire and a mortal. One of your parents was an undead and the other a living mortal. a small miracle that you were birthed, even, either because your father's seed was, well, let's say,
The sisters never called it that.
the sisters never called. What were you called then, Moira? What did they tell you you were?
I'm gonna stare at my feet while I answer, and I'm gonna answer really quietly. They just said I was a monster.
Still in that lovely, extravagant gown with those perfect fitting, nice slippers. Well, in some cases you are, well, scientifically a monster, Moira. You'll forgive me, I don't stand on ceremony like my husbands, but you're damn pure, Moira. You are not what we call a living creature.
To reach a hand up to swipe away the tears forming rapidly.
Oh, honey. She reaches over and passes you her handkerchief. There's no reason to cry. Orion here is not exactly what we would call human either. She seems to be a type of sylph.
Alright, what the fuck?
I have not hidden this from you. I've told you what I am.
I mean, I don't think Moira knew, but she doesn't care, so it's fine.
It's like there's a reason I can see in the dark.
Okay, so I'm the weird one.
What?
So I'm the normal one, so I'm the weird one.
Did
I
did
mean,
you
I don't think that's what we meant by that.
did you just choose to not listen to when I told you that I'm a sylph?
Regardless.
No, I missed that part.
Regardless, yes, we all come from different walks of life, unfortunately. Some of us have harder paths than others. Moira, if you wish to learn more about your heritage, I would gladly offer you some basic tutoring, some books to read in the meantime. Unfortunately, well, you've made it this far in life while concealing your true nature. But have you never noticed that the gods scoff at you? The divine harms you?
I just noticed that I was different. She's gonna dab the tears away with the handkerchief and just kind of try to pull herself together.
Moira, you are different. I am different. We're all different. Different does not mean hideous or horrific, despite what people like Sebastian might think.
Glance up at Sebastian.
I stand by what I said.
Yes, that's spoken like a true knight of the Raven.
Although some things were surprising.
It's about this time that
I
Aldrich comes stomping back. There's trouble in town. Valentina, stay here. I will be back. There's something about a mob in town.
is that what that was about?
Turns and grabs his coat and turns to you, Moira, again. I'm so sorry. I assumed you all were traveling companions and friends. I thought this was not a secret. Forgive me.
Try to muster up a smile at him.
His own smile does not reach his eyes as he... Well, you are welcome to come with me if you wish. Great heroes, if you are not too tired from your journey. There seems to be a good man.
I will also go.
Good ladies, gender neutral ladies.
I will double check with Mora if she is okay to come along.
Okay.
I'm fine. She will tuck the handkerchief away and take a brave little sniffle.
It will be okay.
Valentina, still sitting prim and proper in her chair, gives you a small pat on the arm. Moira, the first sign of affection from the usual cold woman. If you've need of someone to talk to or any further questions, I assure you, well, I'm not as courteous or... It's about this time Aldrich interrupts. We have to go now. It's pretty serious. I don't mean to make things dire, but...
We'll look to our fancy outfits and wonder if
I just
we
bolt
should-
for the door.
Okay.
Very well. Aldrich chases after you, Sebastian. The ladies are left in the room alone. Valentina finally stands, scooting her chair back as if she was still at the table. You should go.
I will grab my equipment.
Valentina steps over to the wreckage of the table and begins to kind of poke and prod at it, slowly starting to clean it up by hand.
I will go ahead and dash after the others.
Okay. Your beautiful trail, just like Saren Ray, ascending to the stars, leaving a glittering, sparkling trail behind you.
I will have headed out after grabbing the equipment.
Okay. Very well. All right, we'll stop there then. Any last thoughts, any last words before we...
It's getting juicy.
Did it.
Don't sound so sad about that. We did it.
I
bills-
I am only lamenting the wasted food.
The beans are being spilt.
All over the floor.
I would, like legit, like Arik just shoved the table, and I was like, not the food. It was innocent.
I was a big fan, personally, of Aldrich going, hey, Lucia's a zombie, and Sebastian going, you're a zombie? And Lucia going, I'm a zombie?
Like, hold on,
Well,
this
I was in the
confused all of
corner
us.
staring at Lancelot going, is he a zombie?
That's why we're drawn to each other.
Undead together strong.
we all undead one way or another, I guess. I mean, for all I know, I could have been. Just not told, I guess.
You're right.
I'm the one who went down.
I've replaced Orion with a doppelganger. Sebastian's just gonna be regular
Only
human.
living party.
Sebastian's pale as hell. He's a ghost. Look at him.
Yeah, none of this is real. It's just in my head.
He's a specter.
An insane asylum.
Wraith.
You
I can
laugh.
tell
Turn out I'm still in that.
I was really thinking she was the zombie.
You laugh,
An
but
emo
in
kid.
3.5 there was something called a Ghost Walk campaign, which took place around the City of the Dead. And you could take levels in things like Ghost, Zombie, Spectre, Wraith, stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
It was assumed, like, your characters had died before character creation.
Interesting.
It was pretty neat. Look it up. Ghost Walk. The accident wasn't your fault, says chat. No, it was.
Mm-hmm.
What accident?
Anyway, regardless, I hope you guys had fun with our all roleplay only session tonight. Enjoy that, because that's not how it lasts in Ravenloft.
Oh, I know.
That was the fun part.
Well, it depends if you like awkward dinner parties with fancy people. For me, that was the worst part.
What are you talking about? Dinner with a vampire is great.
Yeah, it went well.
You know, ironically, I've never seen that. I just kind of winged it tonight. Also, everyone give a shout out to Como for helping me set this up a little bit earlier. So,
Yeah.
as
Yay,
our
Como.
Good
as-
job, honey.
as our resident Alucard, he is much more, we'll say, talented at this than I am. Some of this material, so I want to give a shout out to that.
Yeah.
I just decided to let the man run wild with whatever he wants, really. He's got some good stuff. So. Anyway. We're going to wrap it up pretty soon. Any last thoughts? Any last words? Any last actions before we go?
No.
How many more undead can fit in this party?
How many you want?
Good question. I don't know. Let's see.
Tiffany built her character to kill undead, and now she's in a party with 2 of them.
I'm aware.
Try to control yourself.
Undead. Ooh, a whole 5.
Apparently my dice say 5.
5 more undead. I have bad news for you.
God, I wish it was only 500.
It was 5. This is the easy as hell.
I was gonna say, do you know how easy 5 undead are to kill in Ravenloft?
It'd just be 1 encounter.
Literally.
Easier ones.
Listen, I said in the party, not to fight.
Party of 9.
21. This is gonna be fun though, because as I've said before, Ravenloft has a bunch of neither Raven stuff, so that's a bunch of Strays Forte. So I'm looking forward to you guys possibly finally learning a little bit more about my actual player character that I get my namesake from, and many of my stories. So that will be hopefully fun and not a horrible crying ordeal as you all slowly die one by one.
It can be both.
Listen, again. I technically went down first.
Well,
Actually, technically, I think Sebastian went down first. You just...
Shit, I've been down like 5 times.
Yeah.
I've been down a lot. I lost track.
Well, I hope everyone who showed up to the stream had fun today. Hope everyone had a good time. Hopefully we will be back on our regular schedule, because shit was fucked lately. But hopefully each Saturday night for about, 2.5, 3 hours a night?
Roughly, yeah.
Is it like 9 to 12 mostly? I don't know. We
Mostly, yeah.
started a little late and finished early, but I'm pretty happy with tonight's session.
Yee.
All right. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.